Yo, what's up, SR Squad? Back here again. Um, I'm eating some brats with slices of cheese. I substituted bread with tortilla. That's my thing sometimes when I don't have bread. I also got some raspberry lemonade. Um, so far, I just woke up not too long ago, about an hour ago. Um, I gave some thought to something else yesterday and today when I woke up. I talked to one of my homies. His name is Joseph. Um, he has been one of my best friends for many years already. He's like a brother to me. Like, we've always been close. We've talked about everything as well. He's been somebody that's special in my life and does. Hey, we've done a lot for each other. You know, we got to know our personal stuff too. You know, he's one of my closest friends. He's like a brother to me. And well, we were talking yesterday, and I mentioned to him about a podcast, starting a podcast, and he said it was a great idea. He liked the idea. He was actually intrigued by it, and he asked me, "Tell me more. You know, what do you want to do? Like, what can we do? What can we start?" Sorry about the helicopter, guys. Here, you live by the base, the Davis Mountain, so you're gonna hear all this kind of stuff all the time. But he told me, he's like, "What can we talk about?" And I said, "Well, knowing us, you know." Me personally, I like talking about like conspiracy theories, things that are happening in the world, war, aliens, space, theories, any type of theory, any debates. Like, we can talk about things that happened and what our beliefs on, like what beliefs we have on the topic. Anything. We can bring up anything in the podcast. I told him, or even a YouTube channel where we can sit down. And soon we can probably buy equipment like a camera and a microphone, and we can have like interviews talking to each other about things. Maybe as a start, we can bring in family or something, interview people. And, he said those are all great ideas. There's a bug flying around. But, he said those were great ideas. He liked the idea. He told me just, you gotta start somewhere. Let me start eating here, grubbing on. Um, and I talked to my girl about it yesterday too. She said she can really see me doing something like that with him. Um, and actually making a living off of it, being a podcaster and a video editor and all that stuff. Like, we can do all that and get paid for it too. Hopefully one day I can get paid by YouTube. But I told my girl about the idea, and she told me, yeah, you guys are perfect. I mean, she knows us too, how close we are. She said you guys are always talking about mysterious stuff and bringing up conversations and theories. And I think that would be great. And Joseph also told me in depth what people want to see or want to hear. That's something I got to think about, consider everybody else too. You can't just bring up things you want to bring up. Sometimes you want to catch the audience, and that's how you're going to gain more. How would I put it? You're going to get more attention from the audience. You're going to catch them, catch their ears. Basically bring you more prominence than what you were, bring you up a little bit. So, looking up things that are not being talked about, or actually me being a person that wants difference, being unique, I could bring up topics that aren't really brought up. You know what I mean? Sorry. Uh, One thing I did want to bring up, I told him if our first topic, I would want to bring up the 36 civilizations of space, which is supposedly, if you guys know Professor Drake from Uh, I'm not sure. I forgot what university he went to. I think it was Yale, but he is the one who created the cerebral message and the um, Drake's equation, which basically means there is possibilities that there are extraterrestrial communications in space where you can actually send communication signals from Earth to all the galaxies anywhere you want, and maybe get a response. The possibility of there being life on other planets and other universes, in depth, anywhere in space, it's so infinite and, you know, infinity is out there. I wouldn't mind you bringing that up, that'd be a great, great conversation and topic. Very interesting. I'm sure people would learn something new. I could research and look up certain things about it. I kind of got in an insight of what it might be yesterday. I looked him up. He looks like an interesting man. He was a astrobiologist and astrophysicist, you know. But yeah, I am a space geek. I've gone into space. I've gone into the topics of space these past couple years. I've been into that. I love the stars, constellations. I love looking at stars. I really like. I've been wanting to get a telescope as well to actually be able to look at the reality of everything out there and be actually being able to see stuff. And that's basically it. That's the biggest thing I wanted to bring up. This little YouTube video, a small little vlog. Me eating, just enjoying it with you guys. Like I said, I'm trying to get a start off on this. Also, I am a huge wrestling fan, as you guys know. I still am. Of the WWE. I've also gone into AEW, a new company that recently came out. Um, Names like Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, Darby Allin, John Moxley, um, Sammy Guevara, Pac. All these people. There's a lot of them. Paul White, The Big Show. You realize if you research at wrestling, AEW, you'll realize that a lot of them from WWE went to AEW because of the unsatisfaction. A lot of things were happening during COVID. 2020 was the biggest year where a bunch of wrestlers from WWE left to AEW. 2019 and 2020. 2021 some left and then it stopped, but that was a huge peak where wrestlers left to AEW for better opportunity, which I don't blame them because when I see AEW, it's a whole shift. Like I say, it reminds me of the Attitude Era, but a newer generation of it. Back in the late 1990s when WWF was actually pretty good. In the early 2000s, yeah, ruthless aggression era. As you guys know, whoever's a wrestling fan, but yeah, um, um, also another topic for my podcast could be the Chris Benoit murders. That one is, I'm not promoting the violence or nothing. It's not about that. It's interesting in the sense of what really happened that night. It was a 3-night event, June 22nd to the 24th of 2007. There was a murder-suicide of a family, a wrestler from WWE back then, Chris Benoit. And if you guys are wrestling fans, you know him. He murdered Nancy Benoit and Daniel Benoit. I think he was 7 years old. Nancy was 43, wife and son. Happy family, they have history of happiness. Wrestlers love them. They were great friends with the WWE wrestlers. Everybody knows them as a happy family, but there was some out of the blue tragedy where supposedly Chris killed and strangled his wife. Those incidents of just people snap and they do something stupid like that. I guess he suffocated his wife. I don't know if he struck her in the head, and then he killed his son in his bedroom, and they did a welfare check. They found their body is dead, and then Chris Benoit hung himself, I think, from a weight machine. Now, there's that side. Now, they're also talking about a man named Kevin Sullivan, a wrestler from WCW, who supposedly had beef with Chris Benoit and his family, who they hated each other since, I think it was like 10 years prior from that, from back in the 90s. Some incidents that happened, they always had beef. I don't know exactly what, I forgot. That was something I researched back a while back. Even Chris Jericho, he also has his own podcast. That's why I'm interested. His Talk is Jericho. He mentioned that. And, I'm also intrigued by it and what really happened. And if we can look up theories about it, and I'm willing to teach Joe about my own stuff that I know and actually ask him his opinions. He always has something to say. He's open-minded. So, we have great conversations. But, supposedly Kevin Sullivan murdered them. That was a whole other theory. That Benoit didn't do nothing. The theory that I heard is that Benoit actually came into the house and their family was already dead. And I don't know if he went crazy and he hung himself because of the weight and depression of seeing his son and wife dead. That's what people say. There's a theory of that Chris Benoit actually walked into his house and his family was already dead on the hands of Kevin Sullivan. I'm not blaming him. There's no blame, no nothing, no certainty of anything. I'm just talking about theories that I've heard. So don't get me wrong. I'm not sure, I'm just bringing up the theories that I've heard, but yeah. But I am interested in that case, Benoit murders. Like I said, the space theory, also the war in Ukraine. Me and Joe are super heavily interested in that, especially myself. I'm into the news media. It's not always positive, but you get some things that you actually try to, it's things that you sink in sometimes, but yeah. But me and him have been talking about it. We're also in this thing where space colonization, again to the space topic. The war in Ukraine is one thing. We'll get to that. Just updating on world events, on that case with the war in Ukraine. Space colonization. I've always asked Joseph, and thousands of years from now, centuries and centuries from now, what if space colonization is possible? What if we make technology, transportation, agriculture, infrastructure, and you name it, everything that life is, food, everything. What if for a while we get involved with the alien civilizations and we evolve with them? What if we change our appearance, our ways, you know what I mean? All those possibilities. We've changed before. Homo sapiens, the sapient categories, all those, we've changed, we've evolved throughout these thousands of years. We can continue that. Right now we're in a time period where we look like this. And we've looked like this for hundreds of years. And after this time period, there's another one, and life keeps going on. Universes grow, things happen, things change, things appear. Dude, and centuries of light years away, that's a long time, an infinite amount of time. Things can appear to us and pop out. Then we'll see, okay, there's aliens here. There's something in this universe. Then we'll be freaked out or interested, freaked out, worried, concerned, cautious, and also too interested that we will make a big mistake and actually go out of our way to contact them and try to send stuff out there and do things that we're not supposed to do, and we might provoke them. And that's the worst idea, because you don't know what they got. They have their militaries, they can have their own governments, they can have, just like us, they have their own stuff. Nature, they have that, so we don't know what they're going to do to us. You know what I mean? We can accidentally start an intergalactic war, how they, experts have said that. What if humanity accidentally declares interstellar, intergalactic war, interplanetary, what do you name it, intergalactic, I believe, is a war with other galaxies. Interplanetary is our little solar system. Like, let's say there's Martians. Boom, we send something out to Mars, we start some chaos or catastrophe. I hope not, but knowing us humans, humanity, we have a history of that. We get into other people's stuff and we create conflict, We have a history of that. But yeah. Need to get my grub on, man. And people can disagree with me or agree. You can comment whatever you want, I like it to be respectful, but if you guys don't agree with me on something, or if I said something wrong, let me know. I don't mind. I like being cautious of what I do and what I say. I don't mean to provoke anybody or start conflict with anybody. I don't have beef with nobody, but, and if I said anything, I don't mean to offend nobody. I will make sure that I let people know that, all the time, if I'm going to be doing this kind of stuff, especially podcasts. I'm not out there to offend anybody or bring up offensive topics, If people get offended, that's pretty much on them. I'm not trying to offend nobody. They're the ones who are taking it that way. But that's something that I will let you guys know more often. To anybody. Again, I don't know. Nobody knows how people are gonna take things. And yeah, I'm just here to bring up interesting topics and entertain as much as I can. But I'll be cutting it short now. Just a quick insight of what I want to do. I'd like some feedback, your guys' opinions, comment, whatever you want. I'll reply. You know, we can start off with debates if you guys want. You can bring up topics now. I can comment them and I'll reply to whatever you know. But I'll be here. I'll be recording. I'll be making some videos. Let you guys know what I'm doing. I'll eating in front of you guys on the camera. You know, showing you what I'm eating, what I'm making. You know. But yeah, I'll be here. And I'll see you guys later. And I hope our goals are met and my goals met. You know, and show you guys what I've done. But I'll see you guys later. Hope you guys have a great day. Peace out, my boys. It is some SR Squad out.